Let's stay in the state of Florida. Miami at Florida State. Florida State is a 4.5-point home underdog. Total 54.5. Over took some money this morning. This is another game I bet the dog. I took the 4.5. I don't show a huge edge number. I mean, I make it a field goal. So, and look, I have Miami as the 5th best team in the country. Is there a chance we're overrating Miami? It's possible, right? One thing we're not overrating is they're playing the trenches. Yeah. I think, you go.
Let me throw this stat in. All the mobile quarterbacks they've faced, they've given up 10 net rushing yards to those mobile quarterbacks. So they are owning the trench.
Yeah, their offensive line, one of the best in the country. Their defensive line is 2 of the best defensive ends with Messidor and Bain. But I have them a top 5 team in the country. I downgraded Florida State slightly after last week, even though they should have won that game. What do they have, like 60, 70% post-game win probability?
Mm-hmm.
Might have been caught peeking ahead a little bit. But I only have them as a field goal favorite here. And this is their first road game of the year.
Yep.
And look, they have looked impressive. Miami has looked impressive. But even like when I adjust for opponent, their offense doesn't look amazing. So, for like a top 5 team. And they did get to play C.J. Carr at home in his first ever road start. They played South Florida in probably the worst situational spot of the entire season, when they just had nothing left after 2 ranks. So, like,
you beat Florida.
It was broken.
Yeah, I mean, USF beat Florida, and for them as a program was so big, they didn't care about going down to play Miami.
Yeah, and they were exhausted. They beat Boise before then, and Miami was coming off of a bye. So they've had some breaks in the schedule with when they've played teams that might be inflating their actual power rating number a bit. But I have them in top 5, but I still show value in Florida State. And this is Beck's first road game with Miami. What you want to look at Beck's home road splits from last year? Last year at Georgia, Beck at home was at 25 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. On the road, his completion percentage dropped by 10%. He had a 3 to 7 touchdown to interception ratio and a sack rate that more than doubled. So he looked rough on the road. So maybe this offense doesn't look as smooth in Tallahassee in front of a raucous crowd. I think that with these ends, these menaces on the end, and Bain and Mestor, like having this misdirection and this Malzahn offense can actually work in Florida State's favor. I think they can move the ball here. So this is mainly a numbers play in addition to Mario. Mario's going to mess up one of these games, and I think it might be this one. For what it's worth, as a road favorite of at least a field goal against Power 4 teams, Mario's 16-26 against the spread, 38%, failing to cover by about 4 points per game on average. He's 4-12 against the spread in league games as a road favorite in the ACC. Failing to cover by 9 points per game, 29% against the spread. Meanwhile, Norvell, 7-1 against the spread, 87.5% as a home dog against ranked teams, covering by about 9 points per game. Literally the complete opposite of Mario. He's won 4 of those 8 outright. The only one he didn't cover was that fluky loss at Clemson. Oh my God, I'm still pissed about that bet. In a game that they should have won. He's been nails as a dog. I think just in-game decision-making edge to Florida State here. So I took the 4.5. I think the Noles going to have a really, really good shot of pulling off this upset. I think this goes right down to the wire. I'm still not sold on Miami's kicker either. Davis hasn't missed yet, but I'm still not sold. What are you seeing here?
He hasn't missed, but I'm not sold.
I mean, he's like 4 of 4.
Yeah. Crazy. Mario's in the top 20 in middle 8. I didn't expect that. I made the game 4, so I wasn't able to get in on the side this week, but I wanted Florida State the entire time. I just thought we might get a little bit better number after what happened against Virginia. And I think the Virginia game is a pause for concern if you want to take on the Seminoles. But, this, I think offensively.
By the way, Florida State is a team that dominated Alabama at home still. And
yeah.
Alabama has looked pretty good since. So we have to give them credit for that win. And that was at home, and they look great. And I think
it was a complete effort issue on Alabama's part. I think complete effort issue. But listen,
they still get a lot of credit. They dominated that game.
Yeah, well, so I think there's going to be This is a tougher game. I mean, this is the most disciplined offense in the crystal ball era. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing. You're going to put this Miami team on the road for the first time. Right now, they're 6th in havoc allowed. I can't remember a Miami team that's been this safe on offense, especially with Cam Ward under center. Right now, we're 6th in havoc allowed. They're top 20 in success rate, finishing drives, pass block. I could just go on and on about how great this offense has been. And I think the defense has been even better. I mean, Corey Heatherman has just been fantastic against mobile quarterbacks, like I said before. I think it's worth noticing. The reason I want to play Florida State and I haven't, and the reason I'm playing the over, this tackle grading is falling for Miami week after week. I mentioned it on the last pod that there were some concerns in the USF box score that maybe the tackling wasn't as good as we thought. Against Notre Dame, they missed 7 tackles. That's really good. And then they missed over a dozen against USF. In the last 2 games against USF and Florida, they've missed 32 tackles. The tackling is going the wrong way for Miami right now. And if Florida State is able to get into the back half of that secondary, get around Reuben Bay and get around those edges, then it could be a problem. Now, for Florida State, their offensive line is ranked number 1 right now in line yards. I mean, this is going to be a huge battle in the trench. Tommy Castellano's problem, him and Gavin Sawchuk, the problem is they run inside zone, and Miami's just putting up elite numbers against inside zone, 62% success rate, and defending it. So you think Castellanos is going to have to go to the air. So I went as deep as to look as what Miami usually runs with their nickel defense. What do they run? Cover 3. What does Tommy Castellanos absolutely destroy? Cover 3. I went to this year's stats. I went to last year's stats. 58% success rate against cover 3 with a 25% explosive play rate. He likes facing cover 3. So if you look at the fact that Beck has dominated quarters coverage, which is what FSU plays, Castellanos has dominated cover 3, which is what Miami plays, and you throw in a growing missed tackle rate by Miami, and the fact that the FSU defensive line got thrown around by Virginia last week, I took over immediately at the beginning of this week. I want to get in with you on Florida State. I probably will, because I'm
on the board or no?
Yeah, let's put it on the board because I don't think 4 is going to be there when this closes.